This is the perfect rhythm for falling in love.
I know. Our romance is deepening.
Definitely.
Don't read into that too much. Okay, number one. Is it question number two? This guy has, or gal,
multiple questions.
Multiple questions.
Good
so the
job.
first
I like this
of
question.
the two that we're gonna be, he had or she had more. But the first one is it right to start a relationship with an intimate kiss or even sex? Now, that's pretty in-depth.
I like that question.
We'll start with the first prong of kissing. You know, I think that it's probably, well, I know. If you start a romantic relationship on the physical and you don't really know that person, your kiss, first of all, it's not going to be all that a kiss should be. Physical is one portion of a relationship. It's not even the most important portion of the relationship. It's definitely a major part of it. But what is your heart towards that person? Can you trust your heart to that person? And can they be trusted with your heart? And are you mature enough to hold their heart and their emotions and feelings in life? And that's really the major question. Before you ever think about a physical kiss, which kissing is awesome, it's amazing. But if that kiss isn't given to someone who is really someone who can hold your heart well and treat you well and is like the love of your life, you're really missing out on the fullness of what a kiss, a shared kiss, can be. And you really, the physical side might be awesome, but when you get heart and spirit and body all together and you share something that's amazing like that, that is transcendent. It's a little bit of heaven here on earth. So I would say to start out with a kiss, an intimate kiss with someone that you don't really know that well, or you haven't had time to build a deep relationship with, probably not the best idea. Most likely one person or the other will have some regrets, maybe just feel like, man, I didn't even know that guy, we're not even talking, or I don't even like that guy anymore. You know, we jumped into the pool of passion and now I'm screaming for the lifeguard to save me, you know. So I think that answers the kiss question, and I would think that would only be more when it comes to sex.
Yeah, and I think too, it's important to remember that sometimes physical things are a progression. And so if you start your relationship with an intimate kiss, my question is it going to be difficult for you to remain pure throughout your relationship with this person? And so I think Joel's advice and wisdom is so good on the heart level, and I think that's so important to remember. And then it's also important to remember the goal in your relationship is purity as well. And so it's almost like starting the fire with a can of gasoline. You know, I think you have to remember that physical things are a progression and you need to pace yourself in some ways. And I would recommend saving that. And for Joel and I, and a lot of you know this, but we saved our very first kiss until our wedding altar. And that was just a personal decision and a personal goal of ours and a standard of ours that we wanted. But we realized and fully acknowledge that kissing is not bad. It's just a matter of self-control. And I think that the important thing in a relationship is valuing that opposite person above yourself. And so it's important when you're in a relationship with a person to always put their heart and their needs above your own. And so you have to ask yourself, if I were to give this girl or this guy an intimate kiss, am I guarding his heart? Am I guarding his purity? And I think that's really an important question throughout your relationship is, are you really guarding and protecting that other person? And if the answer is no, then I don't know that you're maybe quite ready to be in a relationship yet. And so I would definitely caution an intimate kiss on the first date. Pace yourself, pull back the reins a little bit, and
It kind of reminds me of that scene in That Thing You Do. Maybe it's an older film, but where the main girl character in the film, she wakes up one day and she just said, you know, all of those kisses I wasted on this guy when they broke up and went different ways. So I think a kiss is something that is really, really special. And you don't want to waste it on somebody who you don't really know. Like a kiss, you know, some people say, oh, it's just a kiss. But I think it's just a kiss if it isn't connected to your heart. Mm-hmm. So like, you want a kiss that's connected to all of you. You just don't want something to experience something physical. The true treasure, the most transcendent thing with a kiss is that your heart and your spirit and your body, you're actually giving it all out there. And you don't want to be on the side where maybe you're giving it all and then the other person really doesn't care, or you're both not giving it all. It's kind of like a half a kiss, you know. It doesn't involve all of you, your heart, emotions, and spirit. That's what's so beautiful about when I kiss you. I'm going to control myself.
I think too, the heart is really the most important thing, like guarding your heart. And so I think it's important to get to know a person before you give that kiss away to them too. And I think it's up to each individual person when they decide to kiss. And I think some people may want to wait till marriage, other people may not, and that's your decision and we respect that fully. But I think at the same time, just make sure that you're guarding your heart and you don't want to just give your heart away on the first date and then get your heart crushed if things don't work out and you regret that you gave them an intimate part of who you are. So
yeah, and also, you know, guys and girls, you want to make that, you want a guy who's going to fight for your heart. Yeah. You know, and guys, you want a girl who is going to adore you. I was talking to a guy yesterday on the phone. He called me up and he's like, hey, I'm starting to get interested in this girl. And I said, well, what are some of your friends? I hadn't met this girl. What are some of your friends say about this girl? And one of his friends is close. He plays in a band, and so his drummer's girlfriend said, well, I don't really think I think she just adores you too much and wouldn't really stand up to you, or, you know. And I just told the guy, I'm like, she adores you too much? I mean, I'm like, first of all, that's one of the greatest signs. Guys, you want a girl who's going to treat your heart so kind, that thinks you're the greatest thing ever, that thinks, man, this man is everything I could have hoped for, and does adore you. And girls, you want a guy to adore you and to think that you are the most amazing thing ever. You don't want to just like give all your goods out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to protect your family jewels, you know, on emotional and physical level. You want to make sure that before you just jump into something with your heart, you want to make sure you're connected, that they're trustworthy. And that's where Proverbs 4:23 says, like you quoted, like guarding your heart, for out of it flows all the issues of life. And we've all met people who've got issues, you know what I'm talking about. They've got some issues going on, and a lot of times it's because they've just given their heart to someone who's not mature enough, who's not faithful enough, who's not looking out for their best interest. And that's what love is. Love, that's good. Like, love is living for someone else's benefit. Love is thinking, okay, how can I truly respect this person? And if you guys are respecting each other, then to start out physical, is an unwise road. Even if it is the right person for you, even if this is your dream person, wait a while. Like, get to know each other before you share those deep, intimate things, first in your heart, and then with your body. And then you never want to be selfish with your physical side. That's lust versus love. Love always thinks of the other person. Lust thinks about how can I gratify myself. So those are just some thoughts. I'm probably rambling a little bit, but we'll move on to the next question.
This is the perfect rhythm for falling in love, dear. This is the perfect tempo for